The People's Global Action is an essential part of the dynamics with civil society. It enables many people to be able to discuss key elements linked to migration and development, and in also getting to ways of feeding into the civil society days and in the common space of the Global Forum on Migration and Development with governments. It is also the opportunity for people from very different horizons, in some of them frontline actors on the issues of migration and development, to be able to discuss very concrete issues and to create networks.
I have come to the GFMD to get ideas and share information with the civil societies to know of how to implement certain things that will be better also for the migrant worker of Sri Lanka. And also I feel that we should get together as civil societies, because in each country, sending countries, the issues are the same. The migrant workers face the same issues. So maybe we can get together and voice our problems to the countries of destination, and maybe we can make a change so that migration will help both countries, both their economies and development. And I like to say that migrants are not criminals, they also not victims, but they help.
Now I came here to argue, to lobby the voice of the migrants, and migrants are having the rights and they are not using properly. The sending government and the receiving government should take care of them for their welfare and everything. And the migrants are contributing a lot for the development. Migrants are, because of the remittances, the host country is also benefiting, and the sending country also benefiting. Nowadays the migrants are using as commodities, so the government should change their perspective. They should value for them. This is our objective. Thank you.
We organized ourselves as migrant organizations to do a workshop on xenophobia and racism within the People's Global Action on Migration, Development and Human Rights. And so we had a group of about 40 individuals from many different countries and regions sharing experiences, best practices. We are encouraged by the fact that the United Nations has recognized xenophobia, rising xenophobia as an issue and a concern, and has devoted institutional time and resources and capacity to address this. So we're encouraged by that, but we are also under no illusions that this is something that we can erase through a campaign or a short term, that it takes attitudes, shifting attitudes, who we are as people of color, as women, in different classes and different sectors of people, and that we need to work through these issues to change attitudes, to shift attitudes. So we shared many different strategies on how this is possible to be done. Some are more effective in one region than another. So we're building relationships, learning from one another, and very encouraged by the presence and the echoing of each other's voices, that what we're hearing is happening in Bangladesh is also happening in Korea, is also happening in the Netherlands, is also happening in the United States. So there's some cross-cutting issues that have similar experiences that we share as women, as people of color, and that we are committed and united to have a campaign to fight against this.
My organization is exclusively working for the pre-departure orientation and the awareness and capacity building training program for the potential migrant workers in Pakistan. I think it is a good forum where you can share your ideas and discuss the problem and issues of the migrant workers at global and regional level.
We must do something about the recruitment system. People shouldn't be having to pay to get a job in a foreign country. And that needs cooperation between the sending country and the host, the receiving country, to stop this practice of asking workers to pay for their jobs. Also, we urge strongly for our government to allow migrant workers to switch jobs. If one job is not working out for them. For example, if their boss doesn't pay them their salaries, then they should be able to quit, resign, and go to another job.
We have different activities, and among them we run emergency shelter house for returning women migrant workers, and where we receive many victimized women workers, and where we give different kinds of services, like we give emergency shelter house, short-term emergency shelter house, and transportation for returning women migrant workers from Kathmandu to their district, home district, and other medical treatment, counseling, psychosocial support, and other services. We are here to raise our voice for the rights of migrant workers.
My name is Mamadou Goita. I'm from Mali, and I work with an institute called IRPAD, Institute for Research and Promotion of Alternatives in Development. I've been participating in all the GFMDs since the very beginning, and to bring the African voice in this discussion, because Africa is concerned about migration issues. We not only also have migration among ourselves, but also a big majority of our migrants is inside the country. So the border issue is my concern. We try to support migrant organizations on the diaspora, but also within the continent, so that they can access to the right, but also to be fully part of the development processes in the country, the host countries. So GFMD is a space for political dialogue, and PG especially, this is the part that we are doing now, is a people gathering just to try to strategize on different issues. So we have been discussing about discrimination and xenophobia, we have been discussing about labor issues, we have been discussing about governance issues and all this, just to have a sense of people's concern about this issue and then bring it to the government. And then I will be also talking to my government officials and in the voice as a Malian, but also talking to African Union delegations, because this is our concern as African, just to have our regional institutions, but also Pan-African institutions, understand more about the migration issues and integrate them in their policies.
We work with a lot of sending country migrants in Malaysia, and we are here to see how we can advance the rights of migrant workers in Malaysia, and we want to see how the governments are going to implement the SDGs and how we can give our input. Another aspect is also for us to do networking with the other groups in the forum, so that we could protect the migrants better, returning migrants and also migrants in Malaysia as well.
Today we have also initiated in Nigeria a network of civil society working on migration. The focal point of this network is to harness the effort of all these individual organizations for effective policy advocacy within the Nigerian government system. However, we think it is very important the Nigerians in diaspora, both organizations and individuals, key in with this network both at home and abroad, so that we can mobilize and gather together our own energies for the development of our country. And what we have seen that works is partnership. And so we want to see a partnership growing between these linkages of networks. The networks at home, networks at abroad. There are also various international networks of diasporas, which many Nigerians are part of. We want them to share that experience with those at home, so that they can bring together those useful elements with which we can help our country in developing better migration policies.
So this conference will raise my voice for justice for the migrant people of our Bangladeshis, and not only Bangladeshis, for all over the world the migrant people can get justice. And this is, for this I want to say one thing, that is, do justice for every human right, every people, every person, that whether it is migrant or not. So give them opportunity to work all over the world, and I respect them. That is my voice. Thank you.
And I would like to focus and say, what is migration? Why do people move? What is the solution? that when they go where they are going to be able to access the services that they require, and much more so to contribute to that country that they have gone. Migration is a big issue, especially when we focus also on women. Women are the ones who are left with the babies. Women are the ones whose husbands are the ones they try to follow. And yet when they get there, they find they have problems. They are not able to live well. They are not able to address all the issues of labor, the issues of migration. And therefore, it is interesting to say that if we are able to take care of the women, because they can leave their country due to divorce, due to the cultural issues that do not allow them to access inheritance or to be able to own things, and they want to go to countries where there is more freedom, where they can be themselves and have their own personal identity.
It's very important to bring both civil society members together with government, and of course my role here as an academic, and which is, I would say, a bit underrepresented in the Global Forum, is to try to help bring the facts, the figures, the information into the debate, which we know is so important nowadays. When we look at policy making, it's really important to have evidence-based policy making, and migration and development is often one of those areas where a lot of policy is being made with little facts and little evidence, even though we actually do have a lot of facts and a lot of evidence.